people call me Alex. I went to Guatemala. Well, this is my second time going to Guatemala. It's always a life-changing experience. I worked with the eyeglasses little ministry that was going on there. I was translating back and forth, but overall, I got to see the impact on people's faces when they could just read a paper. They were smiling so much, and for us, we take that for granted. In Guatemala, it's everywhere. You're talking about poverty. You're talking about women that travel miles, get into a bus to travel about an hour or so or two, to just walk more miles to come and hopefully sell just some tomatoes that they grew or some vegetables that they're just selling. And they have to come back, arrive to the house late at night and start all over again at 4 in the morning. And to see that and see how blessed we are and see how much they need us. At first I was very skeptical on mission trips. Like, how can I go and just be there for just a week and just in my way wipe my hands and just leave them there? But I started noticing that these people, even if you came for one day to the town, they were very appreciative, as if they needed it. They also, one gentleman told me, it's nice to see other people from other countries caring for them. So just the fact of being there, provide a simple task as coloring, teaching them about the Bible, the glasses, and the huge ministry of dentistry. It's such a blessing for them.
With the orphans in the orphanage and the children in the school. We went to different villages, did door to door, handed out Bibles and tracts, and of course Mark Scantlin did his dental mission trip where we helped some of the locals, indigenous people with dental work as far as extractions or cleaning their teeth. Some of us, while Mark was doing the dental work, would play soccer with the kids or games or just hang out with them, make balloons or beads, and then we do a vacation Bible school. We'd color with the kids, we'd share the gospel, we'd make bracelets for them that told the resurrection story, the New Testament gospel, and we do skits and act out different stories from the Bible. What I felt was very rewarding was the ability to go to a country where people were desiring, hungering, wanting to know what we had to say.
No other gods. There's one day when we die, we get to go to heaven with Jesus.
Jesus Christos. And not only is he a prince, he is the King of Kings.
No solamente es príncipe, él es el Rey de Reyes.
And the Bible says
Y la Biblia dice
that someday
que un día
everyone that has ever lived in the whole world
que todas las personas que han vivido en esta tierra
will bow down before Jesus and call him King.
se van a hincar a los pies de Jesús y lo van a llamar Rey.
We were there, we went to the orphanage. We came in these gates, these really big gates with this huge wall around this piece of land in the middle of like very impoverished land, poor homes, dirt floors. And behind these gates is Casa de Mi Padre, and the doors open up and it's a beautiful, a big house. And these children, they are not only educated in the typical schooling and not only taught basic manners and cleaning and just taking care of things, but they're also well trained in the gospel. They lead their whole family in Bible studies and learning and reading and memorization, and these kids are definitely something special. The thing about the orphanage is it's a home. It's a home for these children. The workers there are like aunts and uncles or brothers and sisters almost. These kids aren't just in the same orphanage together. They're brothers and sisters, and that's how they see each other, and that's how they treat each other. And it was really amazing to see that. What I was a big part of was the eyeglass ministry. Eventually I got to the point where I could handle it kind of on my own, the people that I was working with. We also had just a lot of people who they work sewing. You kind of pieced it together and realized that they need it because they work and make their living through sewing, but they can't see the needle or the thread anymore, and so we'd be able to give it to them, and we'd have them like practice with a little staple and see if they could see it in front of their eyes. And when they could, they'd be so excited and they'd hug you. Some of them would kiss you, and they would just be thrilled because not only were we helping them to see things better so that they could read, and they could read Bibles, but they could provide for their families still, because the means of their work was through the work of their hands, and they couldn't even see that. Our church supports it, and I think you need to see the ministry and the work that our finances are supporting. It's a work of the Lord, and it's an amazing experience, and I just cannot overemphasize the fact that everybody needs to go.
I loved going to the orphanage and seeing the children and meeting them. We got to meet the kids that we sponsor every month, and we actually got to pick a new child to sponsor, and his name's Mario. He is 8 years old and deaf, and he is such a joy and a treasure. So the orphanage, beautiful, such a good place for the kids to live, but not a lot of room for more children, and not a big space for people to come and work and serve there. And so they are in the process of building a new orphanage. We were able to go see the land where the orphanage will be built, and we got to see the entryway where it will be, and they had just gotten everything together, and then the country came through and lowered the road, and so now they're going to have to do a lot of work to get their entryway where they could get up to the orphanage. And so there have been a lot of extra expenses incurred with that, but when we went to the property, it's just going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect for the kids, lots of room for them to run and play and grow and learn, room for people to come and visit and work, and more room for even more children to come live there. So I'm grateful that they're able to build that building with the gifts of generous people like Temple and so many people who give to the program.